What is an acceptable amount of money to leave as a tip for a $30 pizza delivery? And am I for leaving like $5 every time for deliveries like these? Let me know where you stand on this down below. So tipping culture is one of those things that perfectly shows how different the US and Europe really are.
In the US, it's expected. In Europe, it's mostly optional. So here in the US, tips are like baked into the system. Our base wages are a lot lower or legally allowed to be, so
many Americans default to tipping 15 to 20% in restaurants, 10 to 20% for delivery, whereas in Europe, service workers are paid a living wage. Tipping is often a gesture there rather than a must.
So European source like Rick Steves says that even 5% is more normal in European countries. Is this what you experience?
We got a little bit finessed when we were in Croatia. One of our servers at a nicer restaurant was trying to explain to me that tipping is the norm and that everyone does it and that we should leave a tip if we thought we got good service, which we did, but we later found out that this was not the norm and he was definitely just playing us as dumb Americans. Okay, but what about deliveries? So for me, if it's like an easy delivery, they don't have to like find a crazy parking lot and walk up a bunch of stairs, I tend to tip $5, regardless of what the total cart price is. And I've been doing this forever, and when I was a pizza delivery guy like 10 years ago, I would almost always get a $5 bill for tips, unless I went to like a super rich house, maybe they would give it 20, but $5, regardless of the order size, was the norm. So what would you leave for like a $30 pizza delivery as a tip? $5? Or are you actually going like a percentage of the total price? I want to know if you're from European countries or if you're from the US, like what are you tipping? Okay, and then there's the physical tip jar dilemma, which I feel like spans across cultures. This is not just a US or European thing. Let me know your thoughts. Well, I feel like it's kind of only worth it to tip on those if the waiter or person at the restaurant is actually looking. It's kind of like if a tree falls in the forest and no one's around to hear it. Like if I leave a tip in the jar but no one's watching, I don't know, I have sort of the same sentiment. But now that I'm thinking about it, I think that's more of like a personal ego thing, needing to get the recognition, and just giving the tip is actually what matters if you have good service. I don't know, what do you think? So I just thought this was interesting because different cultures treat tipping so differently, and it's an important one because people in the US literally rely on this cultural norm to live in a lot of cases. So I just want to know what's considered normal in your area and what's considered like a normal tip and a generous tip. Let me know down below. Let me know what you want me to cover next. See you in the next one. Peace.